Hey guys, today is January 3rd. There's a video that I'm going to share with you guys. A lot of Sierra Leoneans have already seen this, and I'm sure it's given us a lot of pause for a lot of us because it's very concerning. We're going to try our best not to politicize this in any way, shape, or form because we know that in Africa, a lot of times, when these things come up, yes, we have to blame governments of the day and previous governments, but we're going to focus on the merits of this particular video that this gentleman gave out, as you can see up here. And I'm going to play it shortly so you guys can see exactly what it's saying, because I want the international community to pay attention, and I want Sierra Leoneans to pay attention to what is happening in this video. Because in this 24th century, you would think a lot of these things should not be happening anymore, but it keeps happening. And in that light, I think it's time we do the best that we could to ensure that it stops happening. It should stop. We should not see something like this anymore. So I'm going to ask some critical questions, but watch the video first, and then I'll come and say what I have to say about this whole thing.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Sinekama, and I'm the head of the team at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. Then I'm the CEO for Death and Destitute Organization. Today, the 28th of December 2020, we will be about 80 people in the Kintom Cemetery. We have 15 baby them, 45 adult male, and 20 adult female. At the Kintom Cemetery, in a mass grave. See the team of volunteers and the body of don't know to the vehicles them. Most of them people that we die do not get a form of identification. So I make a call upon the National Civil Registration Authority. Then they do a massive campaign for the people that get ID card the way they work. Then you say self they work on the street. Man, woman, grandpa, picking this, that. Make sure say they work. If you don't get ID card, you don't get passport. Write your name in a paper. Write your name of king in name, your address and your phone number. So in case anything happens to you, people will locate your family members them. That's not something inevitable. Do you have family from a city there as we very people there? Make sure so you learn a lot of lessons. You in a young people then at it's in a brag business with the pa. You are in a work if you pay you pa. So if you know able go the free education school, go learn work, I think that will make you become better in a society. The you boy picking is in a city today for tuk for tif. That's where we end up. So all that for stop with immediate effect. If you never go school, go learn work, it will become more better for you than you die after this. It's a mass grave for the people. So now they call upon the government, they are letting support the Death and Destitute Organization. Now say bravo to City Council that they don't provide the cemetery for we. We say bravo to the Ministry of Health and provide ambulance for we. But we call upon more people and then support the government of President Bio, President Bio, series for support the Death and Destitute Organization in 2021. God bless you, God bless Mama Salu.
First of all, before I even make my comments, I'll be remiss, if I don't, say thanks to Mr. Sine Kamara, for doing a phenomenal job. Thanks to Mr. Sine Kamara for bringing this to the attention of the international world, to bringing this to the attention of the international community, because he's doing his job. That's what he's paid to do. He's the head of the burial unit in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. So thank you, Mr. Sine Kamara, because you are calling on the government and you're calling on the President BO to help. And since they're the government of the day, I mean, we know there are billions of leons, millions of dollars out there that could solve problems of identification in the country. You're calling the attention of the government because you want to make your job a little bit more easier. So thank you for bringing this to light. We appreciate your service. Thank you for serving our country. We appreciate this very much, and we don't take your service very lightly. However, though, we have some questions that we have to ask so we can help you in the future to provide a better burial or befitting, burial, for some of these people that, would just, going to be dumped in a mass grave. We don't want this to happen anymore in the future. I'm sure that's why you're bringing this to our attention. And we want to shed light on this so that we can get you the help that you need in your job and in your organization, the Death and Destitute, so that Sierra Leone could be a better place for its citizens. Because I know you're not happy having 80 people being, dumped in a mass grave because of lack of identification, right? But we have a lot of questions, and I'm going to ask these questions, all right? Okay, guys, so you've seen the video. Basically, this gentleman is telling us that they're going to be burying these people in mass graves. 80 people altogether. These people died somewhere in Sierra Leone, and they don't have ID cards. That is what this gentleman is explaining to all of us. So for those of us in the diaspora, for the international community, you'll be asking, don't these people have like their dental fissures, to be able to identify these folks? Don't they have a database for like their fingerprints, biometrics, just to be able to identify these people if they do die. Yes, it's wishful thinking in Africa. Hopefully we might get there at some point, but right now it's not there. And that is what makes this very, very sad, and that's what makes this very, very pathetic. You see, because when somebody, comes out here and tells us that they're going to bury 80 individuals, 80 citizens of Sierra Leone, it should concern every one of us, regardless of what it is, your political party affiliations and all that stuff. This should be very concerning, and it's sad, and that is why I want to talk about this, because I have some questions, and a lot of Sierra Leoneans have a lot of questions about this whole thing. So, for example, where did these people die? Where's the police report? Who reported these deaths? If somebody passes out, let's say, because this guy even claims that some of these ladies are prostitutes, and this is what happens to them in the streets. This is how terrible this video is. So let's say this lady is a prostitute. She died somewhere in the streets. Who called the police? Who reported this matter? Where's the police report that was filed on that day to say that this person died? What radio station did they go? What TV station did they? Something just to let the public be aware that, okay, somebody is missing, somebody died so place. We're trying to identify the corpse of this individual. So family members, you can come and, let us know exactly what is going on. These are the questions that we have. Because otherwise, we are calling for an advent investigation into these people that died. Again, we know that we have been hearing a lot of arrests across the country, people protesting, and they are locked up in jails. In McKinney, Lonsar, there are people that were arrested and they were just thrown into jails. What is happening? Pademba Road prison massacre. They massacred over 100 prisoners. We know they've been burying some of those prisoners in mass graves. But what is happening? These are all the questions, because this is what is happening on the ground and the people are concerned. And that is why it's important. It's very important for us to pay attention to things like these. So when you see somebody coming out there and telling us that 80 people, for how long they've kept them, we don't know. They said 15 children. Listen, this is very important. 15 children died without us knowing who their parents are or who these kids are. How would children, because if you say children, you're talking about kids under the age of 18 and little kids. And in that case, I'm not sure that guy is even done. We're talking about maybe, we don't even know the age, but what's the age of these children? We want to know. Is this a 4-year-old child? Is this a 6-year-old child? Is this a 10-year-old child? Is that a 12-year-old child? We want to know. These are the fundamental questions we want to ask, because we demand an answer. 15 children were buried. 15 children were buried because they died somewhere that nobody knew who they were. These are the questions. So we're asking the human rights organizations, Amnesty International, all these organizations, we're asking the government of Sierra Leone, the Minister of Health, to come out here and give a statement about these deaths. This young man who's in charge of this burial should be questioned as to how these people died. We want to see for each of these people the police reports, the date, the time, who reported, how it was reported, what measures did they take for us to be able to identify these bodies. What did they do? Because you cannot just come and tell us that 80 people died and you're going to bury them in a mass grave. These are individuals. These are human beings. These are precious souls and these are precious lives. So we're demanding and asking that we get some answers from the government of Sierra Leone. And I hope the international community will take it, this very seriously, because we cannot just tolerate this kind of, these kinds of things happening in our country where people would just die. Nobody know where they died, how they died, what is the cause of their death, who killed them, or what investigations are being, put out there to solve these crimes. Because everyone, regardless of what some of these people died doing, prostitutes or thieves or whatever the case may be, they don't deserve to die like that. They don't deserve that. And we should all, as human beings, come to terms with the fact that we should ask these questions and demand answers to our questions. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.